Good morning, good morning. It's Washington, D.C. time. Hot coffee and all. How are you this morning? Coffee Cup Chronicles, day 68. 68. I got to tell you about the year 68. I've been to Washington, D.C., I don't even know, a dozen times, at least a dozen times. A couple times before 68, with mom and dad, my brothers, we had an Aunt Lil and Uncle Joe that lived in Arlington, Virginia, and we started going down to pick up my grandfather every Memorial Day and every Labor Day. He used to work for Eastern Seaboard Railroad in Jacksonville. He used to take the train up to D.C. He'd stay a couple weeks with my aunt, and then he'd get on another train and would come up to Buffalo, New York. Well, they cut that route out. It was no longer a direct route, and he was going to have to spend overnight in New York City. He just wasn't going to do that. So we would go down and pick my grandfather up. Problem was, we go down this old U.S. Highway 15. This was before all the interstates were, there were some. They were building the Pennsylvania Turnpike. But when you got near D.C., I forgot what highway we were beyond, but my father would always miss the exit. And we'd end up downtown D.C. almost every single time. She lived in Falls Church, Virginia. I can still remember the Falls Church Bank was on the right when we got on the right highway. And you got down that 4-lane highway and you made a left to go to my aunt's house. But Dad always missed the turn long before that. But also in 68, I was but a young little kid. My Uncle Jack and Aunt Connie and little Ricky, their son, they came up for a visit to Buffalo, and they were going to go back to Langley, Virginia, Tidewater, Virginia, Langley Air Force Base. 68. That was the coffee ground. That was the year that my uncle, Jack, wanted to go into D.C. and see some things. After we stopped by Aunt Lil's, we were on the way to Tidewater, Virginia. I went back with them for the summer. I was like 12. My mom and dad said, yeah, you can go. We're going to be down in about 3 weeks. If you wanted to go. I mean, my Uncle Jack asked me if I wanted to go. I'm a young, adventurous kid, so I come by it honestly, folks. So I went down. He dropped me off at the base of the Washington Monument and told me he would be back in an hour to pick me up. They didn't want to go in the monument. Why? Well, if you all know your history, there was an event going on in 1968 in Washington, D.C. Yep, I was there. As a kid, went up in the monument. I would just wish I still had pictures. Tent City, March on D.C. That was one of my memories. I've got a lot of memories of D.C., folks. Worthy march, absolutely. But you don't drop off your nephew at the base of the Washington Monument when he's only 12 or 13 years old and leave him be. It was fun, though. Hey, then other times I've gone down. I've gone down to D.C. on my own. Rolling Thunder, 2001. That was just before September 11th. And 2009. If you don't know what Rolling Thunder is, you need to look that up. Motorcycle rally. We got on the Gold Wing in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, and rode to Washington, D.C. Went with a group, high top, Julian Martinez and his wife, and 8 or 10 other bikers out of New Mexico. We met them somewhere between Memphis and Nashville and rode the rest of the way with them. They were riding 300 miles, 300, almost 400 miles a day. Had a great time. Hi, Clyde. Clyde come to see me again. So, listen, I got to see the Hope Diamond as a kid. Got to go through the Smithsonian. I've been in every building. I've been in the White House. I've been in the Capitol. I've been in the Jefferson, the Lincoln Memorial. I've been up the Washington Monument. I've been back in 2009. I not only got to go see the Vietnam Wall, but the Korean Memorial and the World War II Memorial. And if you haven't been to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers in Arlington Cemetery, every American should be and go to Washington, D.C. But don't take your parrot with you. They might think you're a pirate. You have an insurrection on your own. Yeah, it's a shame, folks. It really is. People should go see this. Washington, D.C. It's our capital. Our capital. It's a shame they have fencing up all the way around the Capitol building. We look like a fourth world country. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm a veteran. Served my country 74 to 79, United States Air Force. And it was, hey, Clyde, you're on camera. Turn around here. There you go. There's Clyde. I'm a veteran. You need to go see D.C. As an American, as a human being, you need to go see what our founding fathers fought for and why we have the United States of America. Yes, we're screwed up at times. Yes, there's problems, but we can still move around free of will. You can't do that in lots and lots of other countries. Anyway, Washington, D.C., Coffee Cup Chronicle, day 68. Got the hot coffee going, got the bird in the shoulder. Well, he's mad when you touch his tail. Great coffee as normal. Say good morning, Clyde. Say bye, Clyde. Bye-bye. He does say bye-bye. Oh, now he's on the other side. We'll talk to y'all later.